I'm Joe McPhee, and this is the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame Inductee Profiles, and my guest is Denny Smith. Denny Smith was born in 1940 in Hamiota. He was a great shortstop and hitter for the Hamiota teams of the 1950s and 60s. He was part of 4 Hamiota Manitoba championship teams from 1955 to 58 at the bantam, juvenile, and junior levels. He was part of teams that won 6 MSBL pennants in 7 years between 1961 and 1967, and which won 3 MSBL playoff titles from 1962 to 64. He coached numerous Hamiota and Westman teams from 1972 to 88, including 6 provincial championship teams in different age categories. He coached 2 silver medal teams at the Western Canadian Championships, and he's well known also in the hockey, golf, and curling. Welcome, Denny.
Thank you.
So, tell me about starting out your baseball career as a youngster.
Well, I guess I got started maybe when I was, 10 or 11, just fooling around, playing catch and playing a little bit of scrub ball. And then Murray Richardson came to Hamiota in the early 50s as a sports director, and he got a bunch of us young punks, as we were maybe referred to, going, and I credit him for being the one that really got us going in ball. And then from there we moved on to Gladwin Scott was our coach, along with Frank McKinnon, and coaches in some provincial teams. And Ian Lowe was another coach who taught an awful lot of us kids how to play the game, and he instilled the go get 'em in you, that you would, if he said to run through a brick wall, you would try it. He just made you want to play the game. And then the last coach I had was Lauren Caldwell.
Okay. That would have been with the Red Sox?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started out with the original Red Sox team in 1961, the MSBL?
No, I actually started out with we were just called the Hamiota team at that time, and I think I was 14 years old, I guess. I went out and started playing with the senior team, and we went to a few tournaments in Saskatchewan, Gerald, Saskatchewan, and Esterhazy, and that kind of got my start. And from there, then it developed when the senior baseball league came in, then I continued on with that.
Okay, so you were pretty young when you hit the road of these tournament teams.
Yes,
then.
yes,
Must have been some experiences there.
Oh yes, there was. We had a lot of good times, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and that's what it's all about, though.
Did you just a bunch of you pile into cars, and that's
that's what you did. You try to get nine guys was the main thing, and if you had a couple extra, that was great. And most of the teams, I was one of the few that didn't pitch.
Right.
Pretty well everybody else could pitch, so that was good for tournaments.
Okay. And where did you play most of your career then? What positions?
I always played shortstop.
Shortstop?
Yeah, that's where I started out there and ended up there.
Right. So you must have had a good throwing arm, regardless of whether you pitched or not. Then
I had some good help. I had a lot of good second basemen, a lot of good first basemen. Could catch my wild throws. And, it was. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Where did you normally bat in the batting order then?
I was usually lead off.
Lead off.
Yeah.
Okay.
My theory always was to try and get that pitcher to at least do a 3-2 count and make him pitch, and that was instilled in me again early with Murray Richardson and Gladwin and Ian Lowe and Lauren. They said you're the first batter. You got to make him pitch. We got to see what he's got.
Good.
And so I prided myself in trying to do that, and then trying to get on was the next biggest hurdle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long your career lasted in the MSBL then, approximately?
Well, in 1965, I guess I hurt my back, and that pretty well finished me from the senior league. And then I went and started coaching kids, my own kids, and other kids, and we got really involved with Glenn Scott and Brian Smith, Gordy Lau, and myself. We coached some pretty good ball teams, and I felt, well, I had good coaching in my era, and I would like to pass it on. So this is what what he did. So I was in the MSBL with the Red Sox for maybe 6, 7 years, and then when I hurt my back, that pretty well finished it.
What teams did you have the biggest rivalries with back then?
Well, back then it was Dauphin and Riverside and the Cloverleafs. We always had our Verdun had just come in, so we didn't have a real rivalry with them. It became a rivalry, but more Riverside and Dauphin and the Cloverleafs. We had real battles with them. Always had good games and lots of fan support, both away and home. We were known as the hotbed of ball, and we had good following.
Good. Now, your coaching career of minor ball teams later on, did you get to go travel with out of province?
Yes, we did. We got to go to with the one Western Canadian team that Gordie Lyle and I coached. We ended up it was played in Portage. We made the final. As I say, we got the silver medal. But there was a fellow by the name of Terry Poole that was used to play for the Houston Astros. Or went on to play for Houston Astros. They had him, and they saved him for the last game. And he didn't pitch for Houston, but could he ever throw the ball? And Morris Lukowicz was also on the team. He played for the Winnipeg Jets there for a little while. And then our other Beaver team, we went to Edmonton, and north of Edmonton. We played there, and we had Theron Fleury was on our team at that time. He was our little pepper pot catcher. Caused a bit of a brouhaha once, but anyway, he would rather run over anybody than stop, and he was that type of a player. And we end up with the silver medal there. BC beat us in the final. But those were the two that I stand out in my mind as the two ones that really were important to us.
So now these kids that you coach, then you think that they were serious about baseball as you were in your day, growing up?
Yes, I think if you had to instill in them that be the best that you could be, and that was always what I was taught. You tried your hardest and practice. You had to practice. I still remember Ian Lowe telling me that if you're having trouble getting your timing down for hitting, he took me aside and he said, take a broom handle, and he said, cut the broom part off. He says, you go out and find a stone pile or a gravel pile, and he says, you start off hitting big stones, and he said, when you can hit them on a line, then he says, you get down to little stones and you hit them until you can hit the little stones on a line, and he says, you'll get your timing back. And I'll tell you, that worked.
That worked.
It really worked. One team that I can, we were coaching, and it was a Brandon, playing against Brandon, and Lefty Hendrickson's son, Pooch, was our nemesis for Brandon. And we had this little kid, his name was Robbie Wabick. And he wasn't an A-plus ball player by any means. He was just a regular, but he was having trouble hitting. So he came to me and he said, Mr. Smith, what can I do to get my eye on the ball? So I told him this idea. So he went out, and in the final game against Pooch, he got 2 base hits and helped us defeat them. And I thought, well, there's something that is working.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Denny.
Okay,
it's been a pleasure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
This has been Joe McPhee for the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame, the inductee profiles. My guest has been Denny Smith.
Thank you.